Hey, True Seekers, welcome back. Zach here. It is July 22nd, 2015, and today Expedition 44 launched. This is interesting to me for a couple of main reasons. Today, the date of the launch, July 22nd, 2015, is a date with 44 numerology, corresponding with the mission number Expedition 44. And also, the word space has simple English gematria of 44. So I think this might be a very special mission. Also, what I find interesting is the name of the rocket that the mission departed in, Soyuz, with a gematria of 106, a number being coded an awful lot right now. They said this mission took off at 5:02 Eastern Time. It's interesting that the article wrote it that way. There's a lot of 52 and 144 coding. If you write out 44 and sum it in gematria, it sums to 144. Just makes one wonder, perhaps a coincidence. Also, with regards to today's date, 722, 22 divided by 7 gives us the number for pi, having to do with cycles and circles. On a similar date, February 27th, see that 227, there was this incident in the United States where at 7:07 Eastern Time, this fireball went through the sky that was visible in many states on the East Coast. It seems that something is being foreshadowed very much right now in a number of ways, from the Philae comet landing to all the other programming we're getting. This past week, the mainstream media gave us a scare story about the Pacific Northwest being destroyed by a 9.0 or higher earthquake. There's just so much being foreshadowed, and it all reminds me of this movie Deep Impact, which came out in the year 98. And in the movie, there is a black president played by Morgan Freeman, who has some connections to Obama we'll get into. But the movie was directed by Mimi Leader, two names with 44 gematria. In the movie, the comet is called the Biedermann Comet, also having the gematria of 44. The president's name is Tom Beck, a name with 33 gematria connections. The comet is discovered in the movie on May 10th, 1998, a date with 33 numerology. Lots of numbers that connect to the current times. Notice that the poster says Hope Survives, and this was 10 years before Obama was elected running on hope. The word hope has gematria of 44. H is 8, O is 15, P is 16, E is 5, added up, 44. All this 44 coding on this movie. Again, we're talking about Expedition 44. Also, True Seeker, Morgan Freeman was born June 1st, 37. The man who plays the President of the United States in that movie. He has a life number of 44. Kind of like Obama. First black president, 44th president. And just with regards to all this foreshadowing of destruction, of things being amiss, there's a book that came across my radar recently called 77 Days in September. And it's authored by someone named Ray Gorham, who happens to have name gematria of 106, this number being coded all the time. The word prophecy has a gematria of 106, 666 in Jewish gematria. Just read a little excerpt from this book. On a Friday afternoon before Labor Day, I'll have you know that Labor Day sums to 33. It's the only holiday with 33 gematria. On a Friday afternoon before Labor Day, Americans are getting ready for the holiday weekend, completely unaware of a long-planned terrorist plot about to be launched against the country. Kyle Tate is setting in for his first flight home to Montana when a single nuclear bomb is detonated 300 miles above the heart of America. Nuclear bomb has gematria of 106, just like the author's name. The blast, an electromagnetic pulse, destroys every electrical device in the country and results in the crippling of the power grid, the shutting down of modern communications, and bringing to a halt most forms of transportation. Kyle narrowly escapes when his airplane crashes on takeoff, only to find himself stranded 2,000 miles from home in a country that has been forced, from a technological standpoint, back to the 19th century. Confused, hurt, scared, and alone, Kyle must make his way across a hostile continent to a family he's not even sure has survived the effects of the attack. As Kyle forges his way home, his frightened family faces their own struggles for survival in a community trying to halt its slow spiral into chaos and anarchy. 77 Days in September follows Kyle and his wife, Jennifer, as they are stretched past their breaking point, but find in their devotion to each other the strength to persevere. What is an EMP? An EMP, electromagnetic pulse, is a magnetic pulse that overwhelms and thus destroys all electronic devices exposed to it. It is the most serious threat faced by a technologically advanced society. An EMP can be a human-caused through the detonation of a nuclear bomb high above the atmosphere, or natural through a severe geomagnetic storm. In multiple reports prepared for Congress, scientists predict the complete destruction of modern American society and question our ability to be ever recover if we are to be the target of an EMP attack. Further, some predict the death toll in America in the aftermath of such an event to be in excess of 200 million. You know why this is really creepy to me, Truth Seeker, is because we have these things called the Georgia Guidestones that have these rules etched on them in 12 languages, and they were placed there in 1980 on March 22nd. The first rule is unite the world under a new living language, which is likely English, but the second rule is limit the Earth's population to 500 million people, which is the number of people said to be on the Earth at the time of agriculture, before the Industrial Revolution. And Georgia is the fourth state with gematria of 44, that number. In the book, it opens with the words, on July 9th. That makes me think of 7-9. The word murder equals 79. And this year, notice before when we read about it, the event happens the Friday before Labor Day. This year, Labor Day falls on 9-7, a lot like 7-9, these same numbers. So the Friday before would be September 4th. From July 9th of this year until September 24th, a span of 77 days, with the day September 24th already in question. The Pope will be in the United States on this date, a Thursday. That is a span of 77 days from July 9th to September 24th, the 7-year anniversary of George W. Bush's economic fallout speech. A curious date in history. So I don't know. Maybe I'm connecting things that aren't there. I'll be the first to admit that if I'm wrong. But it just seems that all these events, all these numbers lining up, I see them all as signs, as warnings, as foretellings. That Philae comet landing story from last year was extremely curious. The numbers coded within that were alarming. Just like the numbers coded within this Expedition 44. and then just thinking about it all with past stories we've been told. Oceans rise, cities fall, hope survives. Is it all a coincidence, Truth Seeker? Morgan Freeman just turned 77 years old. So that's pretty much the message, Truth Seeker. Expedition 44, it's got my radar up. All right, until next time.